My name is John Eustis. I'm the Senior Vice President of U.S. Group Procurement for Toray Industries America. Toray Industries globally is about an $18 billion advanced materials manufacturing company headquartered in Tokyo. We operate in the United States as 8 separate independent operating companies. So for us, U.S. Group sourcing collaboration historically has been a very manual process, very spreadsheet-driven, heavy volume of emails back and forth with all the different operating companies. And overall, a very cumbersome and time-consuming process, which really limited our ability to execute more sourcing projects. So when we started down this path, we said, look, we're looking for a partner who can provide the technology to improve the productivity and efficiency of our sourcing process, as well as drive further adoption among stakeholders across the organization. So when we started this, we looked at a number of different solution providers. We were drawn to Levelpath for a couple of key reasons. One, the sourcing workflows and flexibility of the workflows really matched well with what we were looking for from a pure functional standpoint. But also the front door and intake process that Levelpath offers really sparked our interest in getting users and stakeholders in the organization to actually embrace using the tool. Lots of sourcing software out there can do the job, but if people won't use it, it's not going to be effective. And so, that was really a critical factor for us, is not only standardizing and controlling that sourcing process across the U.S. group, but getting stakeholders to actually use it was a key part of the consideration with moving forward with Levelpath. So I think for us, our expectation is that once we implement fully the Levelpath sourcing process, it will allow us to complete projects in a much shorter amount of time. It will drive further stakeholder engagement, which is critical for us in any sourcing project. We want to make sure we get all of the requirements and all of the information from the key stakeholders so that as we go through the process, we'll have a successful outcome and meet the needs of the business, which is ultimately our objective. So for us, being able to do more projects with the same staff, higher quality execution, and more stakeholder engagement and adoption is really the key outcomes we're looking for. So for us, obviously lots of software providers out there tout their AI capabilities. Our perspective on AI is looking for solutions that are pragmatic, not just hype or a gimmick. And for us, the Levelpath solution offers really pragmatic, practical applications of AI technology to enhance stakeholder engagement, help us draft RFX proposals quicker, synthesize supplier responses more efficiently, help draw insights out of the information we get back. So those are real practical applications which help drive our sourcing process efficiency going forward. So I think for AI to be successful long-term, it really is figuring out how to use the technology to meet your business requirements, but then also figuring out how the humans are involved to oversee the governance of that tool, manage the risk that comes with using it, and so that we don't put the organization in a place that says that drives bad outcomes. I think for us, the aha moment with Levelpath was seeing how the standard sourcing workflows could be easily modified, adjusted, tweaked to meet the specific needs of the Toray business without a major re-engineering of the entire software platform. So that was really, I think, the key moment for us, coupled with the pragmatic use of AI in the Levelpath solution, was really what drove us to move forward. So my advice on all procurement technology, particularly as it relates to AI, is start with what's the business challenge you're trying to solve for. And once you understand that, what can the technology do to help you solve that problem? And I think specifically in the case of Levelpath, when looking for a sourcing solution, it met all of those requirements. It had the AI technology, the sourcing workflows to actually improve the process for Toray and improve the business outcomes we were trying to achieve. Modern procurement really means, engaging with stakeholders, but in a way that drives the business forward. Let's focus on how we add value to the business. How do we automate routine tasks that are critical to the business, but not really adding a tremendous amount of value, so that the procurement team can focus on the strategic value we bring to the organization, finding the right supplier partners, driving the business forward, and meeting the overall business objectives. I would say the time for waiting is over. I think modern procurement will help drive companies to be winners in the future. And I mean that, you can have the greatest products or services out there and the most efficient operations to deliver them, but if you don't have the right supplier partners in place to support that business strategy, you won't succeed in a modern world that's highly competitive, changing rapidly. So I think procurement is at the center of all of that because we touch every aspect of the business. And so having a modern procurement team that can support that is critical. I don't think it's a nice to have, it's a need to have in order to win in the future. With Levelpath, we're able to execute sourcing projects faster, more efficiently, and most importantly, drive further stakeholder engagement in the process, which yields a much better outcome at the back end for the business.